She looked like just another timid transfer student. But the school bully ran from her like a rat from a cat. The guy was so terrified he even peed his pants, in front of everyone. She didn't stop there. She also played mind games with the school's two most famous elites. But she had a bigger mission: to infiltrate this elite academy run by a powerful corporate family. In truth, she was a top agent from a secret organization. Her boss, the only person she truly trusted, had been assassinated. And all signs pointed to the most dangerous corporate crime syndicate in the region. The Cian Group, led by its ruthless chairman, Mr. Li. This man didn't just kill her boss, he nearly wiped out her entire team. That day she lost everything. Until the sole surviving agent shared a buried secret. Despite public claims that Chairman Li had no heirs, he actually had a hidden son, kept completely off the radar. A student at the country's most elite private school. They had no chance of going head-to-head with the Cian Group, but they could target the son instead. After all, Li was terminally ill. His son would take the throne sooner or later. The problem? All they knew was that he had a son. Nothing else, no name, no face, no trail. So she enrolled in the school, to find the truth one clue at a time. Of course, blending in meant keeping a low profile at all costs. While deep in thought, she accidentally bumped into someone. She brushed it off, but Jeon Hwang wasn't the type to let things go. She held on to that grudge, quietly but with intent. The first day of class went by without incident. Nothing seemed out of the ordinary. Her partner spammed her phone with one warning: stay under the radar. But the moment class ended, drama hit. Jeon stormed over and kicked her desk. Du-kyung caught it in one smooth motion, barely flinching. Jeon froze. She hadn't expected reflexes that sharp. You bumped into me. Don't you think an apology's in order? She sneered. Du-kyung just shot back coldly. Cut the crap, drama queen. Seeing how bold she was, Jeon narrowed her eyes and turned to the girl next to her. Hey, Sujin. Heard anything about a rich CEO's daughter transferring in? Sujin blinked in confusion. Huh? No way. Wait, you haven't heard either. Then maybe she's just. Jeon sneered. A level 4. He probably got in by dumb luck. Noticing Du-kyung's puzzled look, Jeon suddenly put on a fake smile. Oh right. Guess no one told you. This place runs on strict family rankings. Level 1 and 2 are usually reserved for politicians' kids or corporate royalty. Below that you've got mid-tier business families, rising celebs and new money types. People in the upper ranks. We've at least seen each other at gala events and private parties. Then Jeon slapped a paper on Du-kyung's forehead. It read, Level 4. And someone like you. Never seen, never heard of. Yeah, this level feels about right. Laughter erupted around them. Now do you get it? Nobody who barely qualifies as level 4 doesn't get to talk to me. So if you don't want your life here to be a living hell, keep your head down. With that, Jeon flipped her hair and stormed off, her posse trailing behind like loyal shadows. Du-kyung stared after them thinking, this school is seriously off. But fine.my job's simple. Just dig into the top 2 tiers. He thought the worst was over. Turns out, that was just the beginning. To be honest, Du-kyung didn't care for much. But when it came to food, that was sacred. Her one and only source of peace. She was just about to dig in. Finally, a peaceful meal. Then her phone rang. Loud. Annoying, she answered with a scowl. It was her partner, demanding to know why she skipped her hourly report and warning her, again, don't draw attention to yourself at school. Already irritated, chopsticks midair, she looked up, only to see Jeon sauntering over, all smug and slow. Without a word, Jeon tipped her tray and dumped the entire meal across Du-kyung's table. Oops, my bad. Total accident, Jeon said, all fake innocence. Du-kyung's face darkened. Seriously, again, maybe I should just end her and be done with it. But then, she noticed something strange. A new piece of meat had appeared on her tray. She blinked. Wait, did she just give me that? Maybe she's not totally awful? Just as she started to soften, Sujin reached across the table, fingers aiming straight for the meat. Jeon, if you're not eating this, I'm taking it. And that was it. Du-kyung's sanity snapped. Her partner's warning to stay low-key. Gone with the wind. Du-kyung's expression turned ice-cold. In one swift move, she grabbed Sujin's wrist. Her voice dropped. Let go. 61. Jiyeon, ever the instigator, snatched the fork from Soo-jin and smirked. Ooh, what's with that look? Then she tossed the steak aside, sneering. Seriously, you're really gonna eat this greasy garbage? And you, Lee Do-kyung, right, did I just... She didn't finish. Do-kyung's eyes were locked on the two discarded steaks. Her mind was buzzing. In her ear, her partner's voice kept droning on. Hey, did you hear me? Please, for the love of God, stay calm. Lay low. But in the blink of an eye, Do-kyung lunged. She grabbed Jiyeon by the collar and slammed her down onto the table like she weighed nothing. That's when Jiyeon finally realized she had messed with the wrong girl. But it was already too late. Before she could react, Do-kyung's face darkened, and she drove the fork straight toward Jiyeon's eye. Screams erupted. The cafeteria broke into chaos, snapping Do-kyung back to reality. She's insane. Has she completely lost it? Who is this girl? She just went for Jiyeon Hwang. Surrounded by shocked stares, Do-kyung had only one thought. I'm screwed. Once again, she'd lost control. Jiyeon sat collapsed on the floor, eyes vacant, completely speechless. Her friends rushed over to check on her, trying to comfort her. But then they froze. She had wet herself from sheer terror. Do-kyung was already regretting it. Why do I still lose it over food? Seriously? Just then a round of applause broke the tension. A boy stepped forward, grinning. That was epic. I totally want to be friends with you. What's your name again? She thought for a second. Getting to know more people might help with her investigation. I'm Lee Do-kyung. Just transferred today. You? He smiled. Han Yong Yun. Then casually held out his phone. Mind if we exchange numbers? It was just a short exchange. But somehow a small crowd had already gathered around them. Wait, did Han Yong Yun just ask the transfer student for her number? Who is she? Is she a level 1 too? Do-kyung didn't want any more attention, so she handed over her number without a word. Then quickly turned to leave. But Han Yong Yun stepped in front of her, grinning. Where you headed? Let's hit the convenience store. You didn't even get to eat. Do-kyung turned her head slightly and muttered, not interested. But Han Yong Yun kept following, still smiling. What's wrong? Didn't you say you had nowhere to go? Aren't you hungry? Wanna go for a walk? I know a spot with an amazing view. Or how about a campus tour? You just transferred in today, right? This guy was clearly the clingy won't take a hint type. Do-kyung had no idea how to deal with him. So, she ran. The moment she got away, she called her partner. Look into this Han Yong Yun guy. Now. But even the best hacker on their team couldn't dig up a single detail. What do you think I am, a miracle worker? The security system here is insane. I can't even get in. Stop relying on me. Why don't you just get close to him yourself? Her partner, dead serious, suddenly claimed to be a dating expert. After school, just casually walk out with him. Chat a bit, ask a few questions about his family. Then say you're a little hungry. Grab something simple, like tteokbokki or whatever kids are into these days. After that, head to a cute cafe. Take some photos, get those Insta vibes going. Heading home already would be such a waste. Hit up a coin karaoke place, sing a few songs. Wait until it's dark. Then walk down the street together. Look a little reluctant to go home. Then bim. Ask if he wants to treat you to a late-night cup of instant noodles. Do-kyung blinked. Is that seriously a plan? Of course it is. Trust me. Oh, and make a female friend too. You'll get way more info from student gossip that way. Do-kyung ended the call, utterly unconvinced. Her teammate was still rambling on. Don't forget. It has to be ramen. Staring at her phone, Do-kyung muttered, why did I even ask him? Do-kyung stepped out of the bathroom, glancing around. Han Yong Yun probably didn't follow me. Right? It's not like Lee is some rare last name. If he really is the target, he'd be hiding it better. I don't have time to waste on maybes. But before she could leave, she ran into Jiyeon again, who was now shouting, give it back. Two cocky guys stood across from her, smirking. Your phone. Says who? Then delete the photo. Who gave you the right to snap people at their worst? Turns out they'd taken a picture of Jiyeon's accident. And were planning to post it online. Do-kyung heard the commotion and turned around, just in time to witness the whole thing unfold. That's when Do-kyung remembered her partner's advice. Go make a female friend. The guy kept taunting. Keep acting tough. What, you wanna bankrupt my family? Fine, ignore me. But you wouldn't dare cross Jae Hyung, would you? My dad's tight with his parents, remember? If you mess with me, his family won't let it slide either. Not that you have the guts. Jiyeon hesitated, the guy grinned wider. Well, look at that. Didn't think the queen of the school could crumble so easily. Cool then. I'll post the photo now. No objections, right? Suddenly, a hand clamped down on his wrist. Kyung, calm and cold. Who the hell are you? Let go. She turned to Jiyeon. Hey, what's going on? Jiyeon looked away, embarrassed, her voice low and shaky. He took a photo of me, wetting myself. He wants to post it. Wait, you peed yourself? Kyung asked, blinking. Jiyeon's eyes welled with tears. It's your fault. If it weren't for you, this wouldn't have happened. The guy finally snapped. You two have a death wish. Ignoring me like I'm not even here. Think I won't hit a girl? Before he could move, Kyung had already snatched the phone from his hand, like it was nothing. She handed it to Jiyeon. Delete it. Check for backups too. The guy's face twisted in rage. He swung a wild punch straight at Kyung. He sidestepped effortlessly, calm, fast, precise. Then, bam! A clean uppercut to his jaw. His eyes rolled back, and down he went like a sack of bricks. Dead weight. Out cold. Kyung took the phone Jiyeon handed back. All done. Jiyeon nodded. Without another word, Kyung turned and walked off, Jiyeon quietly trailing behind, leaving the second guy frozen, completely dumbfounded. The boy rushed over to a student wearing an eye mask. Jae Hyung, wake up quick. Jae Hyung slowly removed the mask. What's wrong? The boy spoke carefully. Woo Won-jun got knocked out. By who? Jae Hyung asked, frowning. The boy pointed. A girl named Lee Do-kyung. She's a transfer student, I think. Jae Hyung's brow lifted. You're joking, right? Meanwhile, Do-kyung was sitting on the stairs, quietly eating lunch. She glanced at Jiyeon. Want some? Jiyeon shook her head. No thanks. I'm on a diet. But curiosity burned in her mind. Who even is this girl? She hit someone like it was nothing. Lee Do-kyung. Never heard of her. What kind of family backs her to let her act without consequences? Could she be level 1? Suddenly, Do-kyung turned to her. Sorry, I didn't realize I bumped into you earlier. I was distracted, had something on my mind. Jiyeon froze. She hadn't expected Do-kyung to apologize. After a pause, she awkwardly muttered, I should apologize too. I was out of line earlier. Do-kyung glanced at her, thinking, is she the kind who finds it hard to say sorry? Once lunch was done, Do-kyung got straight to the point. Can I ask you something? Do you know Han Yong Yun? Of course I do. Why? Just curious what kind of person he is. Jiyeon smirked. Wait. Don't tell me you like him? Do-kyung's face darkened. Her juice box, crushed in one hand. Jiyeon jumped. No. Sorry, I was kidding. Han Yong. He's always smiling, honestly, like something's a little off. He's weird. That actually piqued Do-kyung's interest. Go on. When we first got into the school, a bunch of upperclassmen came to check out the freshmen. You know the foreign minister Woo Kwang-sik. His son was one of the more famous seniors who showed up. Han Yong Yun accidentally blocked his way coming out of a building. He apologized immediately. But that senior took it personally and held a grudge. No one really knew much about Han Yong Yun back then, so people just labeled him a level 4. After that day, things started going downhill for Han Yong Yun. That senior kept picking on him, relentlessly. Han Yong Yun never fought back. He just smiled through it. We all thought, well, he's a level 4. He probably has no choice but to tolerate it. Then one day in art class, normally Han Yong Yun would have just laughed it off like always. But that day, something was off. The air felt heavy, like something big was about to happen. But nothing did. Surprisingly, the day ended without incident. Then the next day that senior vanished. Vanished? Do-kyung asked, stunned. Jiyeon nodded. Poof. Gone. No one's seen or heard from him since, and that was the foreign minister's son. That's when people started whispering, maybe Han Yong Yun isn't as harmless as he looks. Do-kyung's eyes narrowed. Han Yong, maybe he really is a suspect. Jiyeon chuckled. So yeah, some students started joking that maybe Han Yong Yun got rid of that senior or something. Got rid of him. Come on, do I look that scary? The voice came from right behind them. Han Yong Yun had been listening the whole time. You two sure have wild imaginations, he said with that ever-present grin. Both girls jumped like they'd seen a ghost. How does he move so silently? And what are you doing here? Du-kyung suddenly grabbed him by the arm. Come here. Now. She was genuinely concerned. How much had he overheard? But more than that, she'd had enough. She shoved Han Yong Yun against the wall. Why are you following me around? Because I'm curious about you. Seriously. Du-kyung was losing this battle. Should I try what my partner suggested? Wait, do you like me or something? Yep. Han Yong Yun didn't even blink. Du-kyung froze. Wait, he's serious? Maybe this is my chance. Du-kyung thought. Let's try that stupid plan he mentioned. So, could I maybe? She trailed off, her brain was screaming. This is insane. I can't say it. Can I really do this? Han Yong Yun raised an eyebrow. What are you trying to say? Du-kyung forced a stiff smile. Can I come to your place and eat a bowl of instant noodles? Han Yong Yun blinked. Wait, what? Just like that? You wanna come to my house? Yes, your house. Du-kyung nearly cracked a molar from clenching her jaw so hard. Han Yong Yun burst out laughing. You're hilarious. All right then, after school I'll make you some noodles. Du-kyung was stunned. Wait, that ridiculous plan actually works. The second the final bell rang, Han Yong Yun showed up at the classroom door. Let's go. Didn't you say you wanted ramen? What's with the sudden switch? Weren't you avoiding me just yesterday? You know, Du-kyung said, being friends with you might not be so bad. But hey, are your parents not home? Is it okay for me to come over? Don't worry. I live alone. Du-kyung blinked. No wonder he doesn't even carry a backpack. Actually, I should be asking you, aren't you worried? Coming to a guy's place the first day you met him? Worried about what? She asked, dead serious. Han Yong Yun chuckled. I mean, what if something bad happened? To me, why? Du-kyung looked genuinely confused. They chatted casually as they walked. Soon he stopped in front of a modern building. Here we are. Come on in. The place was surprisingly clean. Can I really find anything useful in a place like this? Wanna drink something? Han Yong Yun asked. I've got coffee and aloe juice. At the mention of food, Du-kyung's eyes sparkled. Aloe juice. I want aloe juice. Feel free to look around, Han Yong Yun said with a grin. I'll have the noodles ready in no time. Du-kyung sipped her aloe juice, but her eyes were scanning the room like a hawk. As soon as he disappeared into the kitchen, she slipped over to his computer and started copying files. This place, it's spotless. Is this really where he lives? It's way too neat. Nothing like the goofy guy people talk about. Something caught her eye under the table. A corner of a photo album was sticking out. She pulled it out and flipped it open. Photos of Han Yong Yun as a child. But every photo was just him. Alone. And not a single smile. Just blank expressions. Suddenly, from the kitchen, do you want an egg with that? Du-kyung quickly shoved the album back in place and forced a casual smile. Do you even have to ask? 2 eggs, of course. Han Yong Yun grinned. All right, got it. When the noodles were done, she went to grab more aloe juice. It's in the fridge, he said. You can get it yourself. But they were standing way too close. As she opened the fridge, she accidentally bumped the counter and spilled the entire pot of hot noodles all over him. Hot. Han Yong Yun yelped. Take off your shirt. Quick. Du-kyung shouted back, already reaching to help him undress. 1 second later, he was submerged in the bathtub. I'm so sorry. I'm really sorry. Du-kyung apologized over and over. Han Yong Yun managed a smile. It's fine, it's not that bad. She started dumping ice cubes into the water. It was boiling. Of course it's bad. She shut her eyes and sighed. What's wrong with me today? Focus, Du-kyung. Focus. Her gaze drifted. He looks skinny in clothes, but underneath, he's ripped. And with what Ji-yeon said earlier, could he actually be? Her thoughts were interrupted. Are you staring? Han Yong Yun asked with a smirk. Du-kyung froze. Only then did she realize she was still staring at his abs. Her face went beet red. I wasn't staring. Du-kyung snapped, slamming the door behind her. You stay in there for 10 more minutes and change your pants. When Han Yong Yun came out, he found her still sitting on the couch, sipping aloe juice and quietly glaring at her now mushy noodles. Come here, stand still. Du Kyung said calmly, starting to treat the burn on his arm. Looks like a first-degree burn. Not deep, but the area's pretty big. You should go to the hospital. As she spoke, she noticed he was just staring at her. What? She asked. When you fought Jiyeon earlier and now, treating my burn all calm and focused, you look like one of those undercover agents from the movies. Du Kyung froze for a second. Did he figure it out? But she quickly steadied herself. Sit down. Han Yong Yun blinked, confused, but did as told. From now on, answer me honestly. Since when have you been living alone? And why? Han Yong Yun raised an eyebrow but answered anyway. I just wanted to. That's all. Do you have a bad relationship with your family? It's not great, I guess. Why not? Is what Jiyeon said all true? Answer properly. Han Yong Yun looked like he was about to cry from the barrage of questions. Du Kyung, are you interrogating me right now? Sorry, I didn't mean it like that, she quickly backtracked. It was just a reflex. You suddenly asked so much. I didn't know you were that curious about me. So, where did you transfer from anyway? Oh, just a regular school on the outskirts. Du Kyung mentally sighed in relief. Thankfully, she had that cover story ready. Why transfer here? Family moved nearby. Whoa. Your family must have some serious pull. It's not easy getting into this school. Then Han Yong Yun leaned in a little. Those girls gave you a hard time right from day one, but you weren't scared at all. I'm guessing your parents must be pretty amazing too, huh? Now I'm really curious. What are they like? Du Kyung froze for a moment. The word parents stirred something in her. They're warm, kind people, she murmured. But what flashed through her mind wasn't her family. It was the face of the person who once saved her, who once gave her a home. Then, like a cruel slap, a voice echoed from that memory. Du Kyung, I wish you were dead. She quietly set her cup down. Anyway, I should get going. Already. Han Yong Yun blinked. Du Kyung answered softly. Staying any longer would be inappropriate. On her way out, Du Kyung thought to herself, got the USB. Nothing left to dig through. That's enough for today. But just as she stepped outside, Han Yong Yun called after her. Hey, wait. You don't actually know what eating ramen means, do you? Du Kyung turned, confused. What else could it mean? Han Yong Yun burst out laughing. I knew it. Who told you to say that? Why? What does it actually mean? Her voice trembled slightly. It's a euphemism, he grinned, for inviting someone to stay the night. Du Kyung's face went nuclear red. Like full-body, soul-leaving embarrassment. Whoever told you that, Han said, still laughing, is seriously evil. Du Kyung was trembling with rage. I swear. I'm gonna murder whoever told me that ramen line. You should stay a little longer, Han Yong Yun teased. Just then her phone rang. Sorry, she said quickly, I need to take this. She stepped into the bathroom and answered calmly. What's wrong? I texted you earlier. I'm at Han Yong Yun's place. Silence. No reply. She was just about to hang up, when a blood-curdling scream pierced through the call. Du Kyung's face went pale. Something was wrong. She gave a brief excuse and bolted. How? No one should know our real identities. She rushed back to the safe house, heart pounding, looking for her partner, Jo Tae-hyung. But the moment she opened the door, the room was trashed. Jo Tae-hyung lay motionless on the floor, covered in blood. Du Kyung rushed forward to check Jo Tae-hyung's condition. But suddenly she felt a presence behind her. A metal bat came swinging at her back with full force. Instinct kicked in. She spun, arm raised, blocked it just in time. Her eyes narrowed. So this is the one who did it. Who sent you? She growled. Without waiting for a reply, she threw a punch and sent the attacker flying across the room, slamming into the wall with a thud. Du Kyung advanced cautiously, eyes locked on the figure. How did he find this place? Could it really be Chairman Lee? As Du Kyung stepped closer, the man in the cap suddenly sprang up, pulling a knife and lunging straight at her. She jumped back just in time, but the stab was a feint. He turned on his heel and bolted. Stop! Du Kyung shouted. She wanted to chase him, but Jo Tae-hyung was still lying there, barely alive. She clenched her fists and stayed. Jo Tae-hyung regained consciousness in a hospital bed. The first thing he saw was Du Kyung, sitting beside him watching silently. "You're awake," she said softly, but her expression was tense. He spotted the injury on her arm immediately, his eyes widened and he tried to sit up. "Your arm, what happened to you?" "Don't move." Du Kyung snapped. "You'll reopen your wound. How did you even end up like this?" "Last thing I remember," Li Jay Hyong muttered. "He was digging through our computer. Must have been after the intel. But then why didn't he finish me off? Why act alone? The whole thing reeks of something off." "Stop thinking," Du Kyung cut in. "Overanalyzing now will just make your head explode. We need to relocate. Scrub every trace from the old office." She tossed him the USB. "Pulled this from Han Yong Yun's place." Li Jay Hyong still had no idea a storm was coming. He grinned. "So, how'd things go with Han Yong Yun?" Huh? Wham! Du Kyung's fist crashed into his face. "You couldn't have warned me that eating ramen meant staying the night. You seriously have a death wish." Just as Du Kyung was about to land another punch, a nurse burst in to change Li Jay Hyong's bandages, and ended up saving his miserable life. The nurse promptly kicked Du Kyung out of the room, her temper still very much alive. She made her way up to the hospital rooftop for some air. The wind was sharp, but all she could think about was her boss, the woman who used to comfort her with quiet words. "You don't need to carry so much on your shoulders. Not everything has to be so complicated. You're already doing great." If she were still alive, I know she'd say those exact words to me. Suddenly, the faint scent of cigarette smoke drifted past her. That's when she realized she wasn't alone on the rooftop. The man noticed her too. Du Kyung frowned. "What a waste of time. I should head back and start clearing the office." She turned to leave. "Lee Du Kyung." A low voice called out, from a man with jet black hair and striking green eyes. Du Kyung froze. Her body instinctively tensed. Eyes scanning for a weapon, she turned sharply and asked, "Who are you, and how do you know my name?" The black-haired, green-eyed man spoke calmly. "So, you're the one who knocked out Woo Won-jun?" Du Kyung blinked. "Woo-hoo," she was just about to ask, when the rooftop door creaked open again. A man stepped out, cigarette dangling from his lips. Woo Won-jun himself. He froze the moment he saw Du Kyung. Then suddenly exploded. You. He lunged, fist cocked back, ready to swing. But before the punch could land, Jae Hyung stepped in and caught his arm midair. Woo Won-jun growled, "I'll let it slide this time, only because of Jae Hyung. But next time I see you, you're dead." With that, he stormed off without another word, leaving only two people behind, Du Kyung and Jae Hyung, and the tension between them thickened. Du Kyung finally pieced it together. So that guy was Woo Won-jun. She narrowed her eyes. "Then why did you stop him?" Jae Hyung exhaled a long drag of smoke. "I'm just tired of guys like him, throwing their weight around because of their parents. And you, don't go showing off just because you can throw a punch. You got lucky this time. That's all." Du Kyung wasn't fazed in the slightest. She stepped forward, snatched the cigarette right out of his hand, and flicked it away. "Thanks for the advice." Then she leaned in just a little. "What's your name?" He blinked. "Li Jay Hyong." He hadn't even noticed when she got that close. "Li Jay Hyong," Du Kyung repeated with a faint smile. "So your last name's Lee, huh? Still just a student. Maybe wait till you grow up before trying to act cool with cigarettes." With that, she turned and walked away. Jae Hyung watched her go, muttering under his breath, "You're a student too, you know." Li Jay Hyong couldn't stop replaying it in his head, the way Du Kyung had said his name. His ears turned bright. So much for the cold, stoic act. Turns out he blushes way too easily. The next morning, Du Kyung was dozing peacefully at her desk, until someone kept calling her name, again and again. She frowned, ready to snap at whoever it was, but then looked up, and saw Han Yong Yun. He grinned, cheerful as ever. "Did you get home safe last night?" Still half asleep, her voice was a blur. "I texted you. Didn't see it?" Du Kyung blinked and reached for her phone to check. But before she could, Han Yong Yun suddenly grabbed her wrist. "What are you doing?" "Let go." He tried to pull away, but he rolled up her sleeve, revealing the burn on her arm. His smile vanished. Han Yong Yun's face darkened, even his voice dropped, cold and sharp. "Who did this to you?" Du Kyung hesitated. She had no idea why he looked angry. But that only made it worse. His tone grew even lower. I said, who did this? Cut to the infirmary. He stood over her, arms crossed. So you're telling me, you tripped on the street? Kyung broke into a cold sweat. Why do I feel guilty? And since when did I need to get lectured by him? Han Yong Yun sighed and rubbed his temples. You seriously have zero talent for lying. Who's lying? She snapped. I'm fine. She stood ready to bolt, only for him to block her path. Where do you think you're going? To class. Oh please. You were half dead asleep 5 minutes ago, now suddenly you're Miss Energy? What is happening? Did I accidentally trigger some weird paternal instinct? Why is he freaking out over this? And just then her phone rang. Han Yong Yun immediately walked over. That's when Do Kyung realized. Wait, that's my phone. Before she could react, he'd already reached the table. The screen lit up. Caller. Jo Tae-hyung. He started to pick it up to hand it over. But Do Kyung lunged forward, flustered. Give it to me. His eyes narrowed, and instead of handing it over, he snatched the phone away. What are you doing? Give it back. Who's Jo Tae-hyung? He asked coldly. The guy who hurt your arm. A suspect? Do Kyung was speechless with rage. Why the hell would I be calling the guy who injured him? She growled. He's my bodyguard, all right? Satisfied now? Still lying. Han Yong Yun stepped closer. Do Kyung was this close to losing it. How did I end up with this nosy psycho? Do Kyung lunged forward to grab the phone. What does this have to do with you? She shouted. Stop it, give it back. But in the chaos she slipped and knocked Han Yong Yun to the floor. Right on top of him, which would have been bad enough if the door hadn't opened at that exact moment. Standing there, Li Jay Hyong, and he got one hell of a view. Han Yong Yun, ever the troll, smirked. Damn. If you just leaned a little closer, this would have gotten way more interesting. But he froze when the newcomer called out, Lee Do Kyung. He knew her name. Han Yong Yun instantly perked up. You two know each other? Do Kyung shrugged. We bumped into each other yesterday. Han Yong Yun opened his mouth to ask more. But Jae Hyung cut him off. Relax, that I'm not interested in other people's leftovers. Then added with a perfectly cold stare. But you're pretty damn annoying. Annoying. Han Yong Yun raised an eyebrow. Word is you've got a messy dating history, and now you're chasing some clueless transfer student. Jae Hyung didn't bother sugarcoating it. Han didn't get mad, instead he smirked. Ah, are you jealous? Do I look insane? Get over yourself. Tension crackled between the two. Han chuckled. You're usually more subtle with the verbal knives. Since when do you care so much about other people's drama? As the two boys kept sniping at each other, Do Kyung quietly slipped away. They can flirt fight all they want. I'm getting out of here. Her stomach growled. Yeah, food came first. Meanwhile, in another classroom, Jiyeon turned to Kim Soo-young. Wanna go to the bathroom together? Oh, the teacher just called me. Maybe later, Soo-young said with a fake smile. Jiyeon tried asking someone else to go shopping after school. Another cold rejection. Then she tried again after class. Wanna grab lunch together? More awkward excuses. Different faces, same answer. That's when it finally hit her. She was being frozen out. For the first time in her 18 years of life, Jiyeon knew what it felt like to be left out. What the hell? I lower myself to hang out with them and they don't even appreciate it. I invite them to eat with me and those level 3s just, eek. She fumed, itching to call her dad and complain. But then she remembered. Her family's company wasn't doing too hot lately. Her allowance had even been cut down to just 30 million won. Wait, what if they found out our company's struggling? Ugh, this is the worst. How am I supposed to eat alone? This is so embarrassing. That's when she spotted Lee Do Kyung. She knocked out Woo Wonjun and didn't even get punished. That's gotta mean she's at least level 2 or higher. On impulse, Jiyeon marched over and sat right across from her. Do Kyung raised a brow. What are you doing? Where are your little friends? They're not my friends. Jiyeon snapped, turning away. It's probably cause of what happened yesterday, and my family's business isn't doing well right now, so now they're all avoiding me. This is all your fault. You owe me. Do Kyung was about to say, pretty sure I don't. But before she could, Jiyeon's eyes welled up. And suddenly she was full-on sobbing, looking like the saddest little rich girl in the world. Jiyeon sobbed as she ate, still managing to curse out her fake friends, Between bites, Du Kyung looked on in disbelief. Is she eating rice? Or her own tears and snot? Fine, Du Kyung sighed. After school, let's go hang out. If I don't say yes now, she's definitely gonna start crying again. She tried to add, but I might be busy later. Too late. Ji-yeon's eyes were already brimming. You're leaving me too? Didn't you say you'd take responsibility? Du Kyung stared at her. How is she still this aggressive while crying? Her fists clenched. No way. Ji-yeon suddenly slammed the table. You have to hang out with me after school. I need to post pics to show them I'm totally fine without them. Got it? You better clear your schedule. Well, Du Kyung paused. Maybe I can dig up some dirt on Han Yong Yun or Li Jay Hyong. All right, she agreed. Ji-yeon instantly lit up. Yay, we're here, let's go in. First stop, the last place Du Kyung ever wanted to be, a shopping mall. 3 hours later, she was practically dead on her feet. What, tired already? Didn't know your stamina was this bad. In that case, how about we try? A chill ran down Du Kyung's spine. Oh no. This can't be good. For the first time in her life, Lee Du Kyung was wearing high heels and a tight-fitting, tailored outfit. Ji-yeon squealed like she'd discovered a new species. Oh my god, you look so powerful in that. Meanwhile, Du Kyung looked like she was about to die. She could barely walk without wobbling. Before she could protest, Ji-yeon had already swiped her card. Let's just wear it out. Don't overthink it. It's just a little gift from me. Nothing too fancy. You can walk in it, right? Then she grabbed Du Kyung's arm and dragged her off to dinner. 9,100,000.1. If that's not fancy, what planet is she from? Still, once the food arrived, Du Kyung forgot everything else. So good. But Ji-yeon didn't touch her food. She just stared at Du Kyung. Paused mid-bite. Why are you looking at me like that? Just tell me you're a level 1, aren't you? Ji-yeon's eyes sparkled. Nope. Du Kyung shook her head, but Ji-yeon jumped in. Wait. Don't hold a grudge. Yesterday was my fault, okay? But seriously, someone like Woo Won-jun doesn't let things go. How did you get away with hitting him? Woo Won-jun. Du Kyung blinked. You mean, like from Won-jun Group? Duh, he's their heir. Ji-yeon leaned in. That company may only be 20 years old, but they've exploded in the past few years. They're basically tearing up the business world. So, he's out, Du Kyung thought. No way, he's behind the attack. Ji-yeon mistook her silence for mystery. Wait a sec. You don't know anything, and I've never heard of you before. You're from one of those ultra-super elite hidden families, aren't you? Are you like from overseas? No, definitely not. Du Kyung waved her hands. I swear you're misunderstanding everything. That whole thing yesterday, it was this guy Li Jay Hyong. He's the one who stepped in. The moment Ji-yeon heard Li Jay Hyong, her reaction went full drama queen. Wait, that Li Jay Hyong. No one knows his real background, but even the level 1s at school treat him like a king. He's the top of the top, the ultimate level 1. And he helped you. What the heck is going on? Du Kyung's eyes narrowed slightly. An undisclosed level 1. Now that's someone worth digging into. Ji-yeon suddenly lit up. Wait, Du Kyung. You like Li Jay Hyong, don't you? Her whole face was glowing. Stop it. Let's just go already. Du Kyung groaned, dragging her away. But Ji-yeon was on fur. You can't fool me. I knew it. Don't worry, I'll totally help you get close. Don't be shy now. As they stepped out of the mall, Ji-yeon was still full of gossip. Don't worry, I won't tell anyone. Du Kyung sighed. The more I try to explain, the worse this gets. Want me to drop you off? Ji-yeon offered. I'm good. I'll head back on my own, Du Kyung replied politely. Before parting, Ji-yeon handed back the clothes Du Kyung had changed out of. Take care, okay? Call me if anything happens. Du Kyung let out a long breath. That was exhausting. Way more than any mission. But at least, some useful info came out of it. Woo Won-jun could be ruled out. Li Jay Hyong, on the other hand, an undisclosed level 1. Definitely worth digging into. That should wrap up today's findings. She glanced down at her feet, aching from the heels. Ugh, how am I supposed to walk all the way back like this? And then, as if the universe heard her, the very person she'd just been thinking about appeared right in front of her. Passed by a stand. Li Jay Hyong said calmly, holding out a small bag. Thought you might need this. Du Kyung sat down and quietly tended to her sore feet. He looks all cold and serious, but he bought those ridiculously cute band-aids. Hey, here that I used them up. Thanks. She looked up to hand it back, but he was already walking away. She rushed forward and grabbed the sleeve of his jacket. Wait, stop. This is a perfect chance to investigate. No way I'm letting him go that easily. I used it here, take it back. Li Jay Hyong glanced at her, then turned away again. It was for you, keep it. Wait. Du Kyung grabbed him again, scrambling for an excuse. It's just, I'll buy you coffee as a thank you for earlier. Inside she was screaming, God, I'm so bad at this fake friendly stuff. Han Yong Yun only got that far because he's such a weirdo that there's no way a normal guy would fall for this nonsense. Du Kyung had fully expected a rejection. But instead, Li Jay Hyong glanced to the side and muttered, Find out I've got a few things I want to confirm too. Didn't you say coffee? Follow me. Du Kyung blinked in disbelief. Wait, am I actually good at this? Next thing she knew, they were sitting in a cafe, and a plate of glorious waffles had been placed in front of her. Whoever came up with this insane waffle recipe should be arrested for making something this good. Li Jay Hyong just sat across from her, watching silently, kind of stunned. Focus, focus. Du Kyung told herself that I'm not here for dessert. Talk to him. So, do you come here often? She asked. He turned away and didn't answer. Oh.wow.is this what rejection tastes like? Do I have to beat it out of him? But then, his tone dropped, his gaze sharpened. Who sent you? Du Kyung froze. His question hit her like a brick. No transfer record. Unclear background. Combat skills way too polished for a regular student. You really thought you were doing a good job hiding? Talk. Before things get irreversible. What the hell is with this guy? Her heart was pounding. Sure, I knew I might get found out one day, but this fast. How much does he know? Stay calm. If he really had evidence, he wouldn't be poking like this. This is still a bluff, and I'm gonna call it. She exhaled. So what? You think I'm some kind of spy? That's so-called combat training. Just basic self-defense my family taught me. Besides, you're one to talk about hiding identities. I could prove who I am. I just don't want to reveal too much too soon. This school's new to me. Forgive me if I don't trust it right away. Then her tone sharpened. But you've been here over 2 years, and you still keep everything under wraps. What are you hiding, Li Jay Hyong? Li Jay Hyong took a sip of his coffee, his voice calm. Alright, let's drop the topic. Du Kyung narrowed her eyes. Wait, have you been secretly digging into me? Is that the real reason you agreed to coffee today? Li Jay Hyong stayed quiet again, ignoring her completely. Du Kyung scowled. Oh, fine. That reaction is probably normal. People should be suspicious. Which makes Han Yong Yun way too friendly. No hesitation, no doubts. He's definitely hiding something. Suddenly, Li Jay Hyong asked, Aren't you and Han Yong Yun dating? The hell we are. Du Kyung nearly choked on her waffle. Ugh, let me guess. This is about the infirmary, isn't it? You've got some wild imagination. That was not what it looked like. If not, then fine. Let's go. He stood up coolly. No concrete intel today, but there'll be more chances. She was so lost in thought she got up too fast and stumbled forward. Li Jay Hyong caught her instantly. She looked up, totally flustered. He glanced at her feet, remembering how the shoes had cut them till they bled. He sighed. Forget it, just hold on to me. And so, the two of them walked side by side, like a couple. The shoes were killing her, but she couldn't let go. She'd definitely fall. Screw this, she thought, that I'll walk home barefoot if I have to. But then, as she turned her head slightly, something felt off. She glanced behind them. Li Jay Hyong noticed. What is it? Nothing, she said casually. You don't have bodyguards? Do you? He shot back. I don't think I need them, she shrugged. Same. Just then, a car screeched to a stop beside them. Jo Taehyung leaned out the window with a smirk. Well, out on a date, huh? Some people just barely escaped death, while others are out flirting and calling their wounded friends to play chauffeur. Must be nice, Miss Du Kyung. Du Kyung's soul nearly left her body. Before he could say more, she hurriedly turned to Li Jay Hyong. Thanks. I'm heading off now. See you around. As soon as she got in, Jo Taehyung started gossiping. Whoa, what's with the fancy look? Did you win the lottery or something? Du Kyung rolled her eyes. Eyes on the road, you idiot. That guy just now, he was pretty good looking. Was that Han Yong Yun? No, that was Li Jay Hyong. Who the hell is that? We'll talk later. Just drive slower. Someone's following us. What? Following you? Not sure yet. Du Kyung muttered. Jo Tae-hyung squinted. Think it could be one of Li Jay Hyung's bodyguards? He said he doesn't like them. But now, who knows? Take a different road, lose them. Meanwhile, Li Jay Hyong hadn't moved. Still standing in place. He reached into his pocket and pulled out a cigarette. As soon as it touched his lips, someone lit it for him. The once empty street had silently filled, with a line of men in black suits. Sir, said the one in front, your father requests that you return home immediately. The leader glanced at Jae Hyung nervously. And, about that matter from yesterday. But Jae Hyung cut him off. I distinctly remember. I said, handle it so I wouldn't need to hear about it again. The next day the classroom door slammed open. In walked Kim Yoon-tae. That he marched up to Woo Won-jun and said, we need to talk. This was the same school bully Du Kyung had knocked out cold. Hey, level 4 trash. Without even looking up, Woo Won-jun kicked at him hard. Get lost. Don't block my view. Try growing some damn awareness. Kim Yoon-tae collapsed to the floor, tears and snot streaming down as he scrambled to plead. So what do you want to say? Woo Won-jun muttered, eyes still on his screen. Yoon-tae asked nervously, that thing. It wasn't you, right? Thing. Woo Won-jun didn't even look up from his game. That person you're meeting, we don't even know who they are. Isn't it too dangerous? Relax, Woo Won-jun said coldly. You think I haven't thought it through? If you don't want in, then stay out of it. Yoon-tae tried to press further. But Woo Won-jun shoved him aside. I said stay out of it. Woo Won-jun. Yoon-tae raised his voice. What's wrong with you lately? What if Li Jay Hyung finds out? You didn't used to be like this. Woo Won-jun, now visibly irritated, waved at a nearby boy with glasses. The glasses kid didn't even flinch. He quietly removed his glasses like he knew the drill. Then came the beatdown. One-sided. Brutal. No one in the class dared to stop it. Silence. In less than a minute, blood had splattered across the floor. Another vicious punch slammed into the boy's face. He collapsed, kneeling, unable to get up. It was nothing more than a show. A public warning. Hey Kim Yoon-tae. Woo Won-jun turned his gaze back. I've been holding back as we go way back. But seriously, why are you always begging for death? Kim Yoon-tae trembled, stammering out an apology. Then shut up and get lost. Right then, a voice came from the doorway. Han Yong Yun stepped in, helping the bloodied boy off the floor. Woo Won-jun, he said calmly, could you not terrorize your classmates for once? I leave for 5 minutes and you go full psycho? I thought getting wrecked by Du Kyung last time would have knocked some sense into you. Woo Won-jun, still seething, glared at Han Yong Yun. What did you just say? Han Yong Yun kept smiling. Oh, you gonna hit me too? Damn it. Woo Won-jun ran a hand through his hair, fuming. Everyone's got it out for me today. Find out I won't hit anyone. Happy now? You think you're hot stuff just because you've got people backing you up? Han Yong Yun didn't answer. He just gave him one last look, then turned and walked away. As he left the infirmary, he ran into Li Jay Hyong in the hallway. Jae Hyung silently handed him a paper bag. Give this to Lee Du Kyung. Curious, Han Yong Yun peeked inside. It was Du Kyung's school uniform. Why do you have this? But Li Jay Hyung didn't reply. He simply walked away, leaving Han Yong Yun standing there, puzzled. When Han Yong Yun found Du Kyung, he was all smiles on the surface, but the jealousy, palpable. So, what were you two chatting about? This is from Li Jay Hyung. Du Kyung blinked. It was her school uniform, the one she thought she'd lost. Wait, you two met last night? Just the two of you? Yes. Oh. Du Kyung raised an eyebrow. And what's it to you? Meeting at night. Alone. Why was he holding your clothes? The vibe turned ice cold. Du Kyung stared at what's his problem now. I don't know what weird drama you've made up in your head, but whatever it is, it's not that. Han narrowed his eyes. Then why was your uniform at his place? Off to the side, Jiyeon was having the time of her life. Oh ho, that tension's not normal. So, Du Kyung left me yesterday to go see him, huh? And she's acting all innocent. Meanwhile, Han Yong Yun looks like he's gonna combust. Is this a love triangle? It is, isn't it? Juicy. Screw it. I'm losing my mind over this ship. Just then she felt it, a pair of desperate soul-piercing eyes burning into her. Du-kyung, help. Me, now. It was Ji-yeon's moment to shine. Hey Han Yong Yun, check this out. Du-kyung and I went shopping yesterday. That outfit. She changed while we were out with me. Backed up. Du-kyung folded her arms. Exactly. Get it through your head, dumbass. But Han Yong Yun just blinked innocently. Can I see more? Wait, what? I mean, I want to see Du-kyung in other outfits. Ji-yeon jumped on the opportunity. Then why don't you come over next week? Du-kyung said she's coming too. Du-kyung's brain glitched. I said that. Since when? Cool, Han Yong Yun grinned. I usually don't let guys into my place, but for you I'll make an exception. Seriously? Does anyone plan on asking me what I want? Another day, another round of emotional destruction. Du-kyung staggered back into their temporary base. Jo Tae-hyung glanced at her lifeless face. So, being this close to the school, feels better, right? Du-kyung sighed. Yeah, except it's ancient, falling apart and has no AC. Hey, not my fault. Jo raised his hands. Considering the location, safety and price, this was the best option. You look like you just died inside. Du-kyung groaned. You go try school life sometime. See how long you last. Honestly, I'd rather go 1 on 100 in a street fight. They moved on to the data from Han Yong Yun's laptop. What is he, a caveman? Jo frowned. Not even a single game on this thing. Just one photo that might actually matter. This guy, doesn't he look a lot like his dad? Du-kyung raised an eyebrow. Wait, can men get pregnant now? Jo Tae-hyung rolled his eyes. What, did school fry your brain? But Du-kyung stayed serious. I'm just saying, he was in the hospital holding a baby. Didn't he kinda look like he just gave birth? Jo dropped the banter. The guy in the photo looks sick. And he died 18 years ago. We started with basic stuff. Family name, relatives. But we couldn't find any link to Han Yong Yun. Honestly, trying to investigate through people around him won't get us anywhere. There's a real chance even the name Han Yong Yun is fake. His entire identity is way more buried than we thought. She used to take down targets in a single move. Every strike lethal. No hesitation. A pool of blood was her stage. But one day, everything went wrong. Her teammate called, voice frantic. The boss fell into Lee's trap. We're all wiped out. Du-kyung, run. Get as far away as you can. Don't even think about coming back. That was the last thing she ever heard, before the line went dead. No one answered after that. She couldn't reach a single person again. In the end, she fell into complete despair. Once again, everything was gone. No, she hadn't lost anything. She just returned to where she started. He was never meant to have anything. No family. No home. In a haze, someone came running toward her, calling her name. That silhouette, it was her boss. But just as she reached out, bim! A giant face popped up in front of her. Jo Tae-hyung. Rise and shine. Du-kyung screamed bloody murder. And sent Jo flying with one mighty slap. OW, my neck. I think you broke my neck. From inside the trash can, he peeked up pitifully. Could you maybe help pull me out first? Once she got herself together, Du-kyung began briefing Jo Tae-hyung on her recent findings. So far, I've looked into 34 of the 372 male students at this school. 16 of them are confirmed to have no ties to Chairman Lee. The other 18, not enough intel. Based on how the hierarchy at this school works, his son is most likely placed among the upper tiers. So if we narrow it down to just the first and second tiers within those 18, we're left with only 4 suspects. Jo asked, what if he's faking it, pretending to be lower ranked to avoid attention? Du-kyung shook her head. Unlikely. The rankings here are determined by very specific criteria. For example, only upper-tier students get invited to certain elite social events. They all know each other. Or their status has already been publicly acknowledged in society. And there are also rare cases, like someone picking a fight with a first-tier student and walking away untouched. That alone can get you labeled as first-tier. Back to the point, Du-kyung said. Out of those 4 suspects, there's one you've already met, first-tier student Li Jay Hyong. He's probably the easiest one to dig into. Joe Tae Hyung frowned. But wasn't his identity completely unlisted? How are we supposed to investigate that? Exactly, Do Kyung replied. If none of his info is public, then how did they even rank him in the first place? There has to be someone who knows him very well. Someone whose word was enough to put him in the top tier without him even speaking a word. That person is second-tier student Woo Won-jun. Wait, that Woo Won-jun? The heir of Woonjun Group. He's been all over the media. People online say he's this sweet, innocent chaebol prince. Do Kyung deadpanned. Innocent? Him? Are you serious? She immediately assigned Joe a task. Dig into him. See if there's any link between Woo Won-jun and the Seyoung Group. Which leaves us with the most complicated one of all. Han Yong Yun, the maybe first tier with zero visible flaws. Suddenly Joe Tae Hyung snapped his fingers. Wait, he looks so familiar. Like a celeb or something, an idol, maybe an actor? Do Kyung sighed. I've told you this so many times already. That guy is weird from head to toe. He clings to me and only me. Since day one he's been on me like glued, and it's like he thinks I belong to him. His obsession isn't normal. Joe groaned dramatically. Ugh, stop. You two are basically feeding me dog food right now. What if he just likes you, huh? Likes me? Do Kyung snorted. No one at school even knows who he is. We can't trace a single piece of info on him. And yet somehow this total enigma is weirdly interested in me. A complete stranger who just so happens to be a deep cover agent? You still think this is about romance? Joe froze. Wait, you're saying he knew who you were all along? That he got close on purpose? No way. I'm already a dead man on every official record. But you're even worse. You don't even have a birth record. No one should be able to trace you ever. But Do Kyung wasn't so sure. What if someone really did know who she was? Especially after the recent ambush, she couldn't shake the feeling. Joe Tae Hyung groaned, holding his head. Ugh, enough already. My brain's short-circuiting. Fine, I'll handle Woo Won-jun, alright? Before she could say more, Joe shoved her toward the door. You've used up your word quota for today. Go take a walk or something. Meanwhile, elsewhere, Woo Won-jun was already in contact with the underground. He had placed a bounty on Lee Do Kyung. The target's just a high school girl? The thug scoffed at the photo. One guy's more than enough to handle her. Woo Won-jun touched the gap in his teeth with a cold smile. She's not just a girl. This is what she did to me. If it were that easy, you think I'd be calling you? Just then the bald thug suddenly spoke up. Hey, doesn't she kinda look like her? You know, the woman who used to be with our late boss. I think I still have a photo of her somewhere. Woo Won-jun flicked his cigarette out. Show me. Reluctantly, the bald thug handed over his phone. Woo Won-jun stared at the photo. His expression twisted. And the next moment he burst into maniacal laughter. Damn, Lee Do Kyung, you're even more of a headache than I thought. Meanwhile, back at school, Do Kyung opened her eyes groggily, only to find someone staring right at her. Both of them jumped. Why are you sitting here? Weren't you over there before? This spot's better, Han Yong Yun said casually. You can do that. Didn't anyone say anything? Also, where's your bag? I don't carry one. Jeon teased. Here we go again. Lee Do Kyung's falling in love. Is it the spring air or is it just him? You guys do whatever. Let's go. I'm super nice today. I'll even give you two some alone time. Before she could protest, Jeon had already shoved Do Kyung out the door. Did you guys have a good weekend? Han Yong Yun asked with a smile. Do Kyung nodded. Yeah. But in her mind, actually, I spent it investigating you. Jeon added playfully. Han Yong Yun, you've been showing up on time ever since Do Kyung transferred. Didn't really have a choice. What about before that? I had a lot of things to deal with. Do Kyung's brain stalled again. Wait, students can just not come to school. Jeon beamed. Oh please. The board and our parents go way back. It's totally fine. You guys go ahead, Do Kyung said. I need to make a quick call home. In truth, she was texting Joe Tae Hyung. A warning just in case he pulled something stupid again. That's when someone bumped into her from the side. It was Woo Won-jun chatting with someone. She's from trash stock anyway, right? What else could she possibly think she is? Not this guy again. Do Kyung had no intention of picking a fight. Until she looked down, and saw her phone screen had shattered. Meanwhile, Woo Won-jun rubbed his shoulder. Damn, what's her shoulder made of? Steel? Hey, Do Kyung called out. My screen's cracked. Then don't stand in the damn way, he snapped. What's the big deal? It's just a screen. Then pay for it. I didn't even charge you for the tooth. You should be grateful. That was covered by the photo of you and Jiyeon. Ah, fine, you're right. Why bad that I just keep forgetting, huh? Still, it's crazy. Someone like you in this school? Your family's poor, right? Here, keep the rest. Might help with rent. What? Not enough. Fine, take some more. Do Kyung was right on the edge. One more word, and he was going down. But suddenly a familiar nagging voice echoed in her head. Don't cause a scene at school. These kids are chaebol. If something happens, we're screwed. She forced the words out between clenched teeth. Forget it. Just go. But Woo Won-jun couldn't leave well enough alone. He pushed it further. Lee Do-kyung, you're just like your mother. That did it. Do-kyung's eyes flared. What did you just say? And that's when Han Yong Yun appeared. Let's go, Do-kyung. Jiyeon's still waiting for you. Do-kyung swallowed her rage and followed Han Yong Yun away from the scene. Inside the car, Jiyeon exploded. What? It was that idiot Woo Won-jun again. You should have dislocated his jaw. Make sure he never speaks again. Han looked confused. What are you talking about? You mean the time he got carted off in an ambulance? I never really pay attention to him. Do-kyung shot him a glare. For someone who doesn't care about anyone, why do you care so much about me? Jiyeon opened her mouth to speak, but her face suddenly flushed red. Han leaned in. What happened that time? Do-kyung grinned. He snapped a pic of her wetting herself in the cafeteria. Lee Do-kyung. Jiyeon shrieked. That was your fault. You have to be first tier. I'm really not. Why do you always think I'm a first tier? Because you pissed off Woo Won-jun, and absolutely nothing happened to you. Is he really that powerful? Not powerful, Han Yong Yun replied. It's not about strength, it's that he's rotten. He'll use any dirty trick he can think of to mess with people. That's why I stay far, far away. Do-kyung sensed this was the perfect chance to probe. Like the Seyoung group? Jiyeon immediately panicked. Hey, you shouldn't talk like that out in the open. You might not care, but I do. It terrifies me. What, are they monsters or something? You can't even say their name? But at that tense moment, Do-kyung caught it. When she said Seyoung, Han Yong Yun smiled. Soon they arrived at Jiyeon's house. She hadn't had friends over in forever, so she was thrilled. She grabbed Do-kyung's hand. Let's order food. But just as they decided what to eat, Jiyeon's phone rang. Crap, it's my dad. The ultimate daughter stalker is checking in. He can't find out there are guys here. Without hesitation, she shoved Do-kyung and Han Yong Yun into the wardrobe. From the phone. My little princess hasn't come home yet? You're out with friends, huh? Heard there might be boys? Inside the closet, Do-kyung and Han were squished together. Just as she was about to explode, Han raised a finger to his lips, smiling gently. Shoo. Hey, move back a little. Wait, don't push, there's a shelf behind us. Thud. A loud bump echoed, the shelf rattled, they both lost their balance. Han instinctively pulled Do-kyung into his arms. He meant to steady her, but somehow, they ended up even closer. Jiyeon quickly pointed her phone's camera at the room. See? Look? Nothing here, right? Inside the closet, Do-kyung muttered. I'm not even a guy. Why am I hiding? Wait a second. Her dad might actually be useful for the investigation. She hesitated, then whispered, Jung, I want to come out. But her voice carried and her dad caught it. This time I heard it clearly. That sound came from the wardrobe. Jiyeon, don't tell me, you're dating Woo Won-jun? No, absolutely not. That boy is off limits. You hear me? You are not allowed to date anyone like him. Jiyeon was on the verge of tears. Dad, what are you even talking about? Then what's in the wardrobe, huh? Just then the door flew open. Jiyeon reacted fast, snapping the camera straight at the empty closet. See, Dad. Nothing. Happy now? Do-kyung was still tightly pinned in Han Yong Yun's arms, his hand firmly over her mouth. Happy now? Jiyeon snapped, ending the call. I gotta pee, talk later. The three of them collapsed in place, drained from the ordeal. Sorry, Ji-yeon mumbled. My dad can be a little intense sometimes. Du-kyung stood up, brushing herself off. I'm heading home. Wait. Ji-yeon jumped up, phone mark still pressed into her face. At least eat before you go. Classic bait. Works every time on a foodie like Du-kyung. While ordering food, Ji-yeon winked at Han. She's kind of pure in some ways, huh? What time are you heading home? Han asked. After dinner. Why? I'll walk you. No, why not? Because I don't want to. Every time we hang out something goes wrong. You're kind of annoying. Han Yong Yun got totally KO'd by Du-kyung. Finally, someone who could shut him up. The look on his face. Absolutely stunned, like he'd been struck by lightning. For Ji-yeon, this was hands down the most thrilling day since transferring schools. Suddenly, Han got serious. Okay, fine, but I'm definitely walking you home today. Why? I'm worried. What if Woo Won-jun tries something again? Even if 100 of him showed up, Du-kyung said coolly, I wouldn't bat an eye. Ji-yeon giggled. You know, when you talk like that, you totally sound like some badass mob boss from a movie. You hot or something? Why are you sweating so much? By the way, you ever wonder why knives have bandages wrapped around them? To keep from cutting your own hand. What about around the handle? To avoid leaving fingerprints. And if it's wrapped on the blade? To reduce the fatal damage. Wait, how do both of you know that? Use your brain. It's basic logic. Did you just say I don't have a brain? Hey, I never said that. Watching the two of them bicker, Du-kyung suddenly laughed. Han blinked. That's the first time I've seen you smile. Ji-yeon chimed in. Your sense of humor is kinda frustrating, you know? What are you talking about? I smile all the time. The two glanced at each other, then back at her. Yeah, if that's what you call a smile. You're pretty popular, Lee Du-kyung. That's gotta feel good, right? How am I popular? Oh, please, you're literally dating Li Jay Hyong. Before she could finish, Du-kyung tackled her. Help, she's gonna kill me. Meanwhile, Han calmly started clearing the table. Still pinned, Ji-yeon teased. Han Yong Yun's totally husband material. Look how domestic he is. Then you date him. Stop it, he'll blow a fuse if he hears that. Besides, he's not my type. I like the pretty and gentle kind. He's not pretty enough? Du-kyung asked, tilting her head. Han Yong Yun. Ji-yeon suddenly shouted. Du-kyung just said you're good looking. Are you trying to die? Du-kyung lunged, flustered. Ji-yeon shrugged. What? I'm not lying. But hey, how many times have you dated? None. What? Ji-yeon's jaw dropped. Not even once? Han Yong Yun, did you hear that? Du-kyung's never dated anyone in her life. Han smiled. Yeah, I kinda figured. Ji-yeon grabbed Du-kyung's cheeks. What's wrong with you? You look totally normal. While Han was on the phone, Du-kyung quietly slipped out of Ji-yeon's house. The streets were nearly empty. She walked alone, Han's words echoing in her mind. I'm worried about you. Worried about me? Being with them. Yeah, it was kind of nice. But it also made her uneasy. Softness was dangerous. She couldn't afford to get attached. This can't go on. Suddenly she felt it. Someone ahead, watching her. Du-kyung stopped in her tracks, then instinctively stepped back. But in the very next moment, someone grabbed her from behind. You've got good instincts. How'd you know danger was coming? Listen carefully, from now on you keep quiet. You so much as twitch or make a sound and I'll hurt you. Now move quietly. Inside, Du-kyung groaned. Han Yong Yun, you jinxing jerk. Of course something happened. You really are annoying. She was dragged into a narrow alley. But oddly, the attacker didn't make a move right away. Which meant, they weren't here to kill her. Was this Woo Won-jun's idea? Silence. No one answered. She stepped forward, unfazed. Did Woo Won-jun send you? If you've got something to say it. Don't waste my time. In a blink she lunged, the man hit the ground, pinned. Her knee drove hard into his gut. He was out. She dropped low, dodging a strike from behind. Her leg snapped upward, cracking the attacker's jaw. Another quick sweep. Second one down. A blade-wielding figure charged from behind. She twisted, slipping past the slash. Her fist smashed into his face. And with a sharp shove she slammed him against the wall. In less than 5 seconds, 3 men were down. "B-boss, what is she?" The fat one stammered, panicking. "This is not what you said she'd be." The bald man shoved him aside. "Shut up. Well, looks like you have trained. But this ain't no tournament. Out here no one pulls their punches." He hadn't even finished his sentence before Do-kyung launched her next attack. The two clashed fiercely, blow for blow. "You've got one hell of an attitude, brat. Mark my words, you'll be dead by this time next year." Do-kyung smirked. One sharp leg sweep and he was on the ground. In one smooth motion she grabbed his knife and pinned him down with ease. Just then she sensed another attacker rushing in from behind. Without hesitation she spun and kicked the fat guy straight off his feet. Wait. The bald man finally panicked, shouting in fear. Do-kyung raised the knife high. Her eyes cold, blade aimed straight at his throat. But right before she struck, she remembered what Zhao Taeyong told her. Don't drag innocent people into this. That moment of hesitation was all he needed. The man swung hard, aiming for her face. Thinking she didn't have the guts, he laughed. Figures. Just a kid. Tough enough to hit but too scared to kill. But us. We'll stab you all day long and not lose sleep over it. Bad move. Before he could finish his sentence, Do-kyung's fist slammed into his jaw. Game over. He turned sharply. One of the thugs she'd knocked out earlier was now up and running. Do-kyung didn't chase after the runner. Instead she started searching the bald guy's pockets. A fake ID. A burner phone. Just a low-level thug. Not one of Chairman Lee's. Looks like that lunatic Woo Won-jun pulled this stunt himself. But just as she let her guard down, a blow came crashing from behind. Careless, she thought, just as a second hit slammed into the back of her head. Her vision went black. The next thing, someone was hoisting her up and carrying her away. Meanwhile, back at Ji-yeon's house, Han Yong Yun had just finished a phone call. He glanced at the clock. Do-kyung had only been gone 10 minutes. His expression darkened as he grabbed his jacket and bolted out the door. As he ran, he kept trying to call her. Each time, the number you are trying to reach is currently unavailable. Just then Han Yong Yun heard someone talking on the phone in a nearby alley. Yeah, right, no, that was my bad. Sorry. Okay, I'll check again, then head over. Before the guy could react, Han calmly stepped forward and took the phone right out of his hand. On the line, a voice said, "New location. Meet at the old factory behind the hill. Don't be late." The guy blinked, then grabbed Han's collar. "Hey, what the hell are you doing?" Han remained calm. "You're not from around here, are you?" "Figures. Woo Won-jun doesn't have that many options, probably had to bring in outsiders. Looks like I was right." His composure stunned the man. He froze, unsure what to do. Han shook off his hand and crouched to inspect a smear of blood on the ground. The guy finally snapped out of it. "Who the hell are you? Are you deaf or just stupid?" Han Yong Yun stared at the blood on his hand and said calmly, "Guys like you, I know your type. I know exactly what scares you, and what kind of threats work. Your boss, he goes by Director Young, right?" He crouched down in front of the man, voice low and firm. "Last chance. Where's Lee Do-kyung?" "That old factory behind the hill. Give me the exact location." Meanwhile, inside a dark, musty corner of the abandoned factory, a bucket of cold water splashed across Do-kyung's face. She jolted awake. The first thing she saw was a grinning, twisted face. It was him, Woo Won-jun, the school bully she'd sent to the hospital.